Coach Bev, and I'm coming to you from Regal Awakening Educational Coaching Services. I coach you as you coach your kids into reaching their goals using the knowledge and skills that I have gained as a parent and veteran educator. Today, we are going to talk about the topic I can't say that to my child. As a parent, nothing irks me more to my core than parents that are afraid to talk to their children. I do not understand why a parent would ever be afraid to talk to their child about anything that could give them knowledge, protect them, give them guidance, any type of knowledge that they need, if that is what is needed for that child at that time. It is very common for parents to have a certain amount of trepidation when it comes to talking to their kids about topics such as sex, drugs, um, teenage pregnancies, all of these different things that parents probably feel that maybe I shouldn't talk to my child about that. I would like to discuss today why I think that that is not necessarily the best practice that we should be using when we are taking that approach with our kids. In my opinion, the old school rhetoric of not talking to your kids is dangerous. We come from the days of do what I say, not do as I do. And that is the approach that a lot of parents take when parenting their kids. Back in the day, it was really not allowed for children to be open and honest and have discussions with the parents. The parents would shun the kids and tell the kids, go sit down, be quiet, you're being grown, or whatever, or whatever. Parents just weren't readily willing and able to be open and talk to kids so much more back in the past. But we are now in the day and time where society is moving at an alarming rate. And if we do not have the discussion with our kids, you better believe that society is going to have that discussion with them. The Bible says that each generation will get weaker and wiser, and believe me, that has come to pass. Children are developing at alarming rates. The things that you and I were knew about when we were 13 and 14 years old, the children are learning about it at the age of 9 and 10 years old. It is moving faster at a much faster speed than it did back in past generations. And even for our generation, we were faster than our parents' generation. So you could just imagine how the pace has been increasing at an alarming rate. Some people think that because their children are in good activities or they go to a good school, that they will not get exposed to a lot of these negative topics and a lot of these negative situations that may occur. But I am coming to tell you that that is not necessarily true. Children, depending on the areas and the type of socialization that they receive, all children, if they go to school and they mix and mingle with different children, they are going to get some exposure to a lot of life topics, whether we like it or not. Socialization is the activity of mixing socially with others. And this is a very real phenomenon. Okay. So basically, what this is saying is if you are mixing with someone on a social basis, you are going to pick up things. You're going to learn from people that you are socializing and communicating with. You're going to learn behaviors. You're going to model your thinking. Some of your beliefs will be affected by the people that you are around on a daily basis. So when you open the door to your children in preschool, it begins immediately then. They are learning to play with others, how to talk to others. They are learning how to communicate. and they are being exposed to other children. When your children go to school, whatever you are dealing with in your home, your child has picked up. And this could be a good or a bad thing. It doesn't necessarily have to be bad. The children has picked this up from their home and from what they've learned. And when they go to school, they are more than willing to share the knowledge that they have gained. So you do not necessarily know exactly who your child is learning values and different type of information from. You just know that your child is going to school with different people from all different walks of life. And it is important that you understand that socialization will take place. Not talking to your children puts them in a position of vulnerability, and they're open to whatever society is willing to teach them and show them. I have three reasons why I believe that parents don't are afraid to talk to their children. The first point is that parents are sheltering their kids. They want to keep them safe. They want to keep them babies, and and they have every right to. It's your baby, and you may not feel that the time is right or that it's age appropriate for your child to be talking about and learning the topic that's at hand. And that is fine, but sheltering your kids is a way of keeping them closed off, and it's not putting them in a good position. The second point that I would like to make about why I think parents don't talk to kids is because they are afraid that they will give them too much damage, thereby doing some type of harm or damage to the child. When you are talking to your child, you do have to gauge their maturity level and determine whether or not the discussion at hand is appropriate for them. But you also need to be mindful of the fact of whether or not this is a topic that is being discussed for most kids at this age, because that is going to guarantee that your child is going to get some type of exposure to the different topics. And the third point is that you don't want your kids to grow up too fast. And that's totally understandable. You want your child to stay a child as long as they possibly can. And so you want to not give them topics and discuss things with them that you feel are of an adult nature. Well, there are ways that you can discuss some more mature topics and just water it down a little bit for your child's level. You just have to sit down and contemplate and think through the different ways that you can use to communicate with your child. When you decide that you are not going to talk to your children, you are basically making the decision of who do you want your child to learn from, you or the streets, let's say. So if you are hesitant and are fearful to talk to your child about certain topics, you best believe that their friends aren't afraid to give them the knowledge. And you definitely don't want your children to feel as if they should go seek out the advice of their peers versus the opinions of their parents. As a parent, you can not only give your opinion, but you can also give them the reasons why. You can give them the background on why you think this is and why it should not be. So that is one of the major reasons why it is important for your kids to come talk to you versus their peers. You are your child's first teacher. We don't just stop teaching our kids after they learn to walk and they learn toilet training and we teach them how to talk. We are constantly teaching our kids and talking to them. Our actions are teaching them. Actually, they're being socialized through by you at home. So it is important that we continue to teach and socialize our kids. How else will your kids know your expectations and values if you don't sit down and talk to them and explain to them the hows and whys and whens and wheres? When you are having a discussion with your kids, this is your opportunity to insert the values that you believe your kids will benefit from. This is the opportunity for you to open up and be transparent for your kids so that they can learn from you. When your kids see what you say and they see what you do line up, this builds trust in your judgment with your kids. Once they see, mom says this and she does this, they can pick that up and they can learn from that. Or sometimes you may want to give your children a warning that you feel that, for instance, don't go there, or maybe you shouldn't choose this person as a friend. You should probably choose a better friend. Sometimes the children may choose to disobey you, and as a result, they will find out the consequence of that decision. That helps them to build trust in the things that you say because mom and dad said, don't do this, and I did it anyway. And as a result, I found myself in this situation. Perhaps if I had listened to them, I wouldn't be in the situation that I am in. So children are going to still live life and make decisions and choices. But it would be a lot better for them if they could do so with your guidance and honesty and the wisdom that you have obtained and you are transmitting to them through your parenting. Stop being afraid to tell your kids what they need to know and what they need to do that's going to keep them safe and keep them from harm. You can find a way to say what you need to say to your kids on all levels, no matter what level they are on. Being afraid to talk to your children is leaving them open and vulnerable to the ills of society. And I'm not saying that to say that society is only going to teach them negative things. They can also pick up positive things. But wouldn't you rather be in the mix and have some say so on what your kids are thinking about certain situations? I am Coach Bev and I am from Regal Awakening. And I thank you for taking the time to watch this video. You can find me on Instagram at Regal Awakening, Facebook at Regal Awakening, and I also have a website, www.regalawakening.com. And you can also book coaching sessions if you would like through this website. You know where to find me on YouTube because you're looking at the video. Hit like if you like the content of the video. And don't forget to hit subscribe. If you hit the notification bell, you will be notified every time I post a video. I am Coach Bell, and I appreciate you. Have a nice day.